package delayed, but probably not denied. What do you think?
There's no doubt, Neil, that this is ultimately going to pass. It has to pass. What I think we're seeing the market respond to is perhaps a couple of things. One, obviously, a little bit of this holdup related to Congress, not a good sign. And also, how about those unemployment numbers now? We're almost at 3.3 million people who are filing for unemployment. And I just want to take a second to talk about that. That comes down to two words: cash flow. That's what businesses are most concerned about. Even companies, Neil, that are busy and can keep working, the question comes down to, can their customers pay them? And without that, that cash flow is going to lead to more layoffs. I think the market is starting to understand that now.
Dan, though, while we're waiting for this whole soap opera to be settled here, I'm wondering what you make of the rallies we've been seeing, again, going into today, then this sell-off, which has now been halved from what it was earlier. But do you believe that what we saw was a fake rally? Much in the press has been talking about the quick exit out of a bear market as something we have seen in the past, only to be followed by lower lows, whether we're talking back in October 2000, March 2000, August 25th, 1987, before the big crash when we got lower still, November 1980. There are times, again and again, where investors were sort of, sucked into a rally believing that the worst was over, only to be punctuated by still lower numbers down the road. Where are you on this?
I think, Neil, that the market is going to continue to be very headline sensitive, and we're going to continue to see spikes up and as well as down. We are by no means out of the woods, Neil. I think that there's going to be a lot of information that's going to be coming up over the weeks and months ahead that are going to continue to put this market, quite frankly, all over the place. So my advice to people that are out there is really to stay the course. Whatever your strategy is, you need to stick with it. A lot of people concerned about their 401ks, and there's a lot of emotion out there. But I think this is going to be the nature of the market for quite some time, and people are going to have to do their best to ride it out.
All right, guys, thank you very much. We're still waiting to see what happens in the House. Nancy Pelosi. Update on all of this from Dan Geltrude as we wait to see the stimulus ultimately arrive. The biggest part for most individuals when they hear about those checks that are coming their way, as you know, Dan, they could be from anywhere from $1,200 to $2,500 or more, depending on kids, et cetera, income levels. A lot of those are going to be directly deposited into bank accounts within a matter of weeks. What do you advise people to do with them?
Well, Neil, I think the mentality that people have right now is once that gets deposited into a bank account, that's exactly where it's going to stay until it's needed. To me, this is going to be part of a rainy day fund. And I can't say that I blame people for having that mentality. Now, the government clearly, because this is part of what they're calling.
All right, I don't mean to jump on you, my friend, but Representative Massey is on the floor of the House right now explaining his resistance to this measure and making sure that everyone is there to vote on it.